Bledsoe's got his first bucket of the night.
He presents a defender with a seat.
Pass to Noah. The block. So, no. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili.
That's a terrific sequence at both ends and recover it for the fast break finish.
And we've reached halftime in this one.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. This arena is packed, and the energy in the building, obvious. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Looking at the Nets, they've put themselves in decent shape to grab that all-important Game 1 victory. So far, they've clearly been the better team controlling the flow. By no means is it a runaway, but they've put themselves in a group. And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Brooklyn Nets.
And we welcome you back to our coverage of Round 1 in the NBA Playoffs. So for Chicago right now, we've got Lance Thomas. Gortat is out there with Ibaka. Then there's Martin, and it's Wall in at the point guard. It'll go, and the Nets lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Gortat.
Oh, perfect execution. The size mismatch was there, and they went right at it.
Not only perfect execution, how about perfect timing, too? Nice to see a shot like that coming from Eric Bledsoe.
Nets on defense. 7 misses from close. Oh, he misses the dunk.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
And that one's good by Gortat.
Yeah, beautiful play on the interior. They're just using the height advantage to lay the ball up and in when they really needed that basket.
Shots good by Bledsoe.
That's 10 straight off of the mid-range.
I like the gray, Greg. They're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that defense to get those shots off. That's excellent discipline on display right there.
Thomas passes to Gortat. With 1 on the clock, and released it in time, but it's off the mark. Welcome back to the NBA Playoffs as we get ready to continue with this Round 1 matchup. And the Nets with possession. They lead by 7. They've got Ginobili. Anderson is out there with Rudy Gay. Then there's Dragic. And it's Pachulia in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of serve.
Here's Dang. Shot is off. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Ginobili against Wall. Outside Dragic. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And they feel good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home court.
I agree. Job well done. They gave these fans exactly what they wanted.
Here's Wall. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
The shooting percentage continues to elevate here in the second half.
Well, as a group, they've been harmonic since the break. In sync. Good team basketball, resulting in high-quality shots.
Here's Ibaka. Lays it up and banks it in.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. A pretty good feeling right now for them to be out in front like this in the
2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Goran Dragic.
Starting out the series, this is a huge win to go up 1-0. He gave them the energy and effort they needed. Huge performance, and what a time to do it. If he can keep up this effort, Ernie, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And that will wrap up this round one broadcast of the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. For Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson, and we'll see you again as the NBA playoffs continue.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Playoff game one now, history. Time for game two of this series here on 2K Sports. We're in the first round. Shaquille O'Neal is here, so is Kenny the Jet Smith. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Brooklyn Nets. Kenny, what does their mentality have to be tonight?
Well, they can't get overconfident. They can't have that feeling that I have right now. I just feel that I know what's going to happen. I'm a little overconfident.
You're overconfident? Yeah. Overconfident about what?
Because they're higher speed. They've got to protect their home court advantage. So I kind of know what's going to happen in this game. I'm a little overconfident.
You know, they need to take their approach like they haven't done anything yet. You know, the series doesn't really start until a team wins on the road. So they'll be fine, but they have to have the right approach.
Are you feeling overconfident tonight as we sit here?
Always.
About what? Overconfident about what?
Right.
Oh, my gosh. Another song.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner.
Round one of the East rolls on. Game two, just about ready to tip off. Playoff basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on our sideline. It's the Chicago Bulls facing Brooklyn. Taking a look at Brooklyn, a successful outing in game one has them right where they want to be with a chance here, guys, to take game two on their home court.
And this is the game that gives them a chance to put the hammer down. I mean, if they can build on their game one win with another one tonight, they'll have a stranglehold on this series.
Well, if you flip the script, though, a loss tonight in their home court advantage evaporates. and that would put a ton of pressure on them going on the road.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So the Bulls 5 right now. They've got Thomas all out there with Martin. Then it's Gortat, and it's Ibaka in at the 4 spot. Shot's good by Bledsoe.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
And here are the Bulls now. 4-point game.
Probably their positive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court. Great pass. John Wall is really good at finding the open man.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Brooklyn ahead, up 4. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And Serge Ibaka, becoming known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him. Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is. Huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
It's the NBA playoffs. Thanks for joining us as we get back to the action here in this game 2. And looking at what we've seen so far from the Nets, what do you guys think?
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
A ton of good looks for him, Greg, on offense, and it's quality shots they're getting.
Dragic is out there with Ginobili. Then there's Iguodala. Then there's Rudy Gay. And it's Pachulia in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the Nets 5. Gay, that's good.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Down low. That one's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Zhang.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Here's Ginobili. Fires it up. Another one falls for Brooklyn. Wall against Dragic. It's Wall with the drive. That drops. Wall's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, I tell you what, it's easy to get spoiled watching this fella. I mean, he just makes it look so simple.
Here's Pachulia, and he slams it one-handed.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him.
And so we wrap up the first half. Nets lead by 6. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again. What a showing tonight. A sold-out building, the backdrop for our presentation. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille. They followed up their win in Game 1. Solid performance here in the first half tonight. If they can hold on and win this game, they could go into Game 3 with very little pressure on themselves. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, they called the right plays, and then they executed them. Great job in the first half. That's why they were so efficient, and they shot so accurately. The defense threw a number of different looks at them, but they were always prepared because they were cool, calm, and efficient.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
See, Ernie, this is what I'm talking about. You know,
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Brooklyn Nets.
Welcome back as we get set to continue our coverage of this Round 1 playoff matchup. Eric Bledsoe really making a difference here.
How about the opening half of basketball he played? I mean, so much riding on this game, and he came out with a sense of urgency to start.
And that's part of his greatness. I mean, in big games, he always performs, lays it out. He loves the games where everybody's watching. You can see why. This is a big-time performer here.
Taking a look at the Bulls. Bucket is out there with Lance Thomas. And it's Wall. Then there's Martin. And it's Gortat in at the center position. Martin goes in. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. Wall's got 5 assists in the game. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Feeds to Green. Back to Bledsoe. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. Much better off making him go to the line.
Rudy Gay's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Eric Bledsoe drops them both. Bulls trail by 9. We've got 22 seconds left in the third. And Wall kicks to Gortat. It's hauled in by Gay.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
From deep, Green. That's good. Green's got himself... going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
Well, this lead is too big to overcome. I'm going out on the limb right now. There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Brooklyn ahead, up by 12. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And we're back to the action here in this round 1 matchup. And Chicago has possession, down by 12.
And guys, that's going to wrap it up. Fans are piling out the exits. Obviously a huge win here in game 2 for Brooklyn.
Good point, Steve. And Clark, they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
I like their fortitude, their toughness, particularly in terms of dealing with adversity. Anytime things didn't go their way, they just put their nose down and stayed with it. And because of that, they were able to pull away.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Bledsoe. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Green is out there with Rudy Gay. Then there's Ginobili. Then there's Bledsoe. And it's Pachulia in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Kevin Garnett is checked in for Gay. Ennis comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Dragic in for Eric Bledsoe. And the basket by Ginobili.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
We've got 22 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Now here's Dragic. Dishes to Garnett. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
The fans are just loving what's going on here tonight. A really good win for the home team.
It sure is. I mean, they kept this crowd in the game, gave them plenty to cheer about, and really used that home court advantage to their advantage.
Deep 2 from Hill. And that one goes long. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And this win puts them squarely in the driver's seat in this series. Up now, Greg, 2-zip with all the momentum on their side.
I mean, in fantastic shape right now. If they can capitalize on this victory and win game 3, you can just about put this series to bed.
You got it. Well, that'll do it for now. Glad you could join us during this first round of the Eastern Conference Playoffs. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA. Presented by 2K Sports. And this broadcast has not ended just yet, as we've got the award-winning Ernie Johnson standing by here for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Eric Bledsoe.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage.
Wow. He was on his game tonight from an offensive standpoint, whether it was scoring the basketball or distributing. He gave the defense all sorts of problems. I love seeing a player in that kind of offensive rhythm that he was in tonight. He commanded the situation at all times.
And we are still early in the postseason. There's more round one action of the NBA playoffs coming your way. For Shaq and Kenny the Jet Smith and Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K Sports crew. Good night, everybody.
HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit, all I know is. HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit, all I know is.
Wherever I go, my homies come too. I love my squad. We up in this thing, love with the. I love my squad. Hop up in the six, and you shouldn't know these rappers, man. They say anything. Call me Susie Piggy Bank, I got plenty change. She rep HBK the over everything. Married to the game with the wedding rag. Everybody try to duplicate, we just innovate.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome to the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And folks, you can feel the fierceness, the intensity of this series setting the tone prior to Game 3. Tonight, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Chicago Bulls in their house, United Center. And guys, for the Bulls, they were unable to take Game 2 on the road, but the series continues. They look to get back in the win column again tonight. And though technically this is not an elimination game, it is clearly a borderline must-win game. Shaq, how do you see it?
Well, I feel like every game, unless you're up 3-0, is a must-win. You never know what will happen in the series to turn the tide.
I mean, Ernie, if you look at history, no one's come back from a 3-0 deficit. So this might not be a must-win, but it's a key win if you want to get back into the series. Take it one possession at a time.
Don't you know that some point, somebody has to do it?
You know what? Someone
has
will do
to
it.
come back.
I've actually seen a team down 3-0 tie it to 3-3.
Yeah, it's happened a few times.
I remember that. Our Denver Nuggets
It'll
tied
never
against
be done.
Utah.
Cut it
tied
out.
at 3-3, sent it to a Game 7.
It will
I remember
never be done.
Mutombo and his group did that.
Well, I'll be 100 years old. Well, I won't be here, so it'll never be done. Because if I'm not here, I didn't see it.
So if you're not here, it didn't happen.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
So anything that happened before you never happened either?
I didn't see it. I can't confirm it.
Well, you know what's happening is if stuff happened before you, you're not going to confirm that either?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Just get stitches. I didn't see nothing.
If something happens right down the hall and you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Can't confirm it. Got to confirm it.
Yeah, that's just silly. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Welcome, everyone, to Game 3 of this Eastern Conference Round 1 matchup. 2-0 so far. Perhaps the tide can turn in this one. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We've got the Brooklyn Nets and the Chicago Bulls. You look at Chicago. They need the boost here from the hometown fans. Trailing 2-0. It is critical for them to start to edge back into this series.
And guys, guys, losing this one would be devastating. For all intents and purposes, this game is a must-win. You really have to treat it like a Game 7.
Exactly. Back on their home court, it's their chance to change the momentum in the series. But you're right, you can't go down 3 games to none and expect to come back and win a series.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Bledsoe is out there with Green. Then there's Iguodala. Then there's Anderson. And it's Chandler in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Bledsoe for 3. And that one's good.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Kicks it to Gortat. Ibaka outside. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. It's Anderson with the drive, and the rejection by Ibaka. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. "19 seconds left to play in the first quarter, and that one's good."
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Martin against Ginobili. Now here is Martin. From deep. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Nets lead by 4. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, very vocal leader certainly, he talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room. Don't you need a player like this, Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room, because Chandler has got that covered.
And we're set to get started again for the next bit of action in this Game 3. And taking a look at the Nets' performance here, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So for Chicago right now, they've got Noah, George Hill out there with Wall. Then there's Lance Thomas, and it's Jang in at power forward. And here is Noah, following the 3 from Eric Bledsoe. The drive by Noah, and he banks in the layup.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
There's 14 seconds left in the second quarter. Ginobili against Thomas. Ginobili outside, from outside the arc, and that one's good. Ginobili's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
That'll do it for the first half. Brooklyn ahead. They lead by 8. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Thank you for joining us live inside this sold-out arena. We are rocking and rolling. Checking out Brooklyn, they've played exactly like they'd expected to, given the first 2 games. They're just 1/2 away from taking what would almost certainly become an insurmountable 3-0 lead in the series. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
The field goal percentage was off the Chisnarts, Ernie. Let me rewind it. The field goal percentage was off the charts, Ernie. It was well planned, well executed. They took very few bad shots, and that needs to be the focus from here on out. More smart basketball, don't try to do too much, and open the door for a comeback.
And Kenny, let's get your input on the Bulls.
Well, right now, they're getting a little embarrassed on the defensive end. They got outshot in the first half, but that's because no one put their foot down on defense to stop it. So in the second half, they need to play much more disruptive defensively. They have to do whatever it takes.
All right, and that'll do it for us here. We now take you back to the second half of our game. Kevin Harlan ready with the call.
And we're back to the action here in this round one matchup. Eric Bledsoe really making a difference here.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Brooklyn's gotten off 4 shots from three-point range tonight and buried every one of them. So for Brooklyn now, they've got Iguodala, Chandler out there with Anderson. Then it's Green, and it's Bledsoe in at the point guard. Bledsoe's gone 4 for 4 from the field. Perfect so far. Ibaka with the screen on Bledsoe to the right side. Oh, wide open look here for Ibaka. Here's Gortat, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Gortat's got his first bucket of the night.
And you know what? Just a tone setter there to start the second half. Just powering up for that rebound and getting it to fall.
Shot from the wing. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Bulls trail by 11. Down low. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Anderson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. The Nets shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. Free throw drops for Green. And both free throws good for Green. There's 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Wall against Dragic. It's stolen by Dragic.
Get stepped late that time, Greg.
The Nets shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
2 shots.
And Iguodala drops them both. Martin. Offline. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Nets lead by 15. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And we're back to the action here in this round one matchup.
And game 3 will go in the record books here. Lots of energy out there tonight and an important win for Brooklyn.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Eric Bledsoe. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Richardson is out there with Jones. Then there's Martin. Then it's George Hill. And it's Jang in at the center position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
Jones dishes to Hill. They get it back. Martin against Ginobili. Martin attacking.
Wow, look at how quick he flashes to the rim there for the finish.
Outside Dragic. And Anderson has it in the corner. Oh my, he'll go to the line with a chance for a 4-point play. That's on Terrence Jones. That free throw good from Anderson. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. You have to think at this point, up 3-zip. It's only a matter of time now, Greg, until this series is in the books.
You know, this victory all but seals the deal. As strong as they look throughout this game and this series, I'll be shocked if they don't close it out in Game 4.
And that about wraps it up for this broadcast of the NBA Eastern Conference quarterfinals. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. Now we'll head over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who's not too far away. EJ?
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Eric Bledsoe. He put up a new season high tonight, and if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the...
And we are still early in the postseason. There's more round one.
Check it out. Never knew a friend till I met a foe. Never knew what a friend could do. Never knew I'd be bruised all black and blue. With my back to the wall. Scrap with my dogs. Rap with my dogs. Cat with my dogs. Fly with me in Atlanta. Oakland, Los Angeles. Real homies never turn to run. Even if a youngster don't wanna pull them. Even if a young wanna meet the sun. We gon' rep to the death where the roots is from. Each day's another change. My homies stay the same. Like feeling strange, cause this world's getting so deranged. Each day's another change. My homies stay the same. Like feeling strange, cause this world's getting so deranged. I'm with my homies, yeah. 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 Real homies stand and struggle. I know you came to hustle, grit your teeth and clench your knuckles. We didn't come to fight, we came to get you. Rolling with me till we die, that's how homies ride. No need for consternation, gather the congregation. I'm rocking for my nation, to get that spirit raising. To all my cousins and my cliques, family and folks. We got our ride out till we break up all them hundreds folks. Each day's another change, my homies stay the same. Like feeling strange, cause this world's getting so deranged. Each day's another change, my homies stay the same. Like feeling strange, cause this world's getting so deranged. I'm with my homies, yeah. 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 I'm with my homies.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to NBA playoff basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Got Kenny the Jet Smith, got Shaquille O'Neal. Time to get ready for this crucial Game 4 of the opening round. We'll watch the Brooklyn Nets in this one as they go up against the Chicago Bulls in their house, United Center. And guys, for the Bulls, a withering loss in Game 3. They'll have to play much better tonight. We'll see if they can steady themselves and get it done. And Kenny, a monster elimination game tonight. If you're the underdog and fighting for your playoff lives, what do you do to turn the tide in this series?
Oh, you got to play like there's no tomorrow, Ernie. Every 50-50 ball, those are those balls that are just rolling down the court. You got to get those. Every second chance opportunity will win. So, those small battles win the big war.
It takes only one big win to get that momentum back on your side. That happened for me and D-Wade back in 06 when we were down against Dirk. And the Mavericks 0-2 came back and won.
And that is it for us.
Can you dig it?
As we send you to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports Group.
At Chicago's front yard, Grant Park and the tall towers of downtown. We've got a capacity crowd here at the United Center. It's Game 4 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal series. Down 3-zip. It's a survival contest, no doubt. Will the series end here tonight? Thanks for tuning in to the NBA Playoffs on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Taking a look at Chicago, they're facing elimination, and the fans in this building know that this could be their last game of the year without a tremendous effort.
And in a lot of ways, I feel like the pressure could be off. I mean, you're down 3-0. Nobody's expecting anything from you at this point. They can just go out and let it fly.
I agree with you. I mean, that's exactly right. You've got to win this game. You're down 3-zip. Play freely, play confidently, and let it all hang out.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Green out there with Bledsoe. Then there's Iguodala. Then there's Ryan Anderson. And it's Chandler in at the 5, down low.
Well, I like the way they're sharing the ball, and Bledsoe right in the middle, spreading it around.
Now here is Martin. Outside for Thomas. Wall attacking. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Bledsoe against Wall. Puts up a 3. Eric Bledsoe, and that's good. Bledsoe's got himself on the board with 3 there. 1 second left. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Brooklyn ahead, up by 3. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And Nets head coach Lionel Hollins known for his no-nonsense style, but he'll tell you he's still got a good sense of humor. I still don't think that Coach Hollins is anyone to be trifled with, and I think the Net players would agree with me on that one.
Oh, yes, I know they've got that one figured out. And I do, too, as a matter of fact. The last thing anybody on the team better be doing is laughing at Lionel Hollins. Just ask Darren Williams.
Welcome back to Game 4 as we get ready to start things up again. And, guys, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
And we've really seen them get out and establish a real nice rhythm offensively in this game.
Yeah, and they're finding ways to score multiple ways, playing well and sharing the ball, just operating good at the offensive end.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So for Chicago right now, Wall out there with Hill. Then it's Gorgie Dang. Then it's Thomas. And it's Noah in at the 5 spot. And here's Wall. After the three-pointer from Goran Dragic. Wall attacking. Thomas dishes the Wall. Kicks to Noah. It's hauled in by Gay.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Iguodala with the bucket.
And I like the job they've done with working the basketball. They've been moving and getting quality shots.
And, Greg, their field goal percentage reflects that. I mean, they've been the much better team shooting the ball. And you know me, shooting percentage, always a function of shot selection. He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and, Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
And so that's the end of the first half. Nets lead by 7. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again. What a showing tonight. A sold-out building, the backdrop for our presentation. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Checking out Brooklyn. They're on the cusp of sweeping this series, and it's an opportunity they're not ready to let slip away. They were in control in the first half and don't look like they'll be backing down in the second. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Well, Ernie, Kenny, the offense was running really well. And their shooting percentage was outstanding, and it wasn't just luck. It's because the offense never allowed the opposing defenders to get comfortable.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on the Bulls.
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good looks. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand. Be like, okay, who's crossing this line? If you're coming over here, I'm taking a hard foul, and I'm going to resist you on defense.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
Welcome back as we get set to continue our coverage of this round 1 playoff matchup. You have to like what we're seeing from Goran Dragic.
You know, some guys just love the big stage, and so far tonight, he's been the difference.
Yeah, he has been. You never know how the role players are going to respond to big game pressure. He's showing us what direction he goes in, straight and order.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Anderson is out there with Chandler. Then it's Green. Then there's Bledsoe. And it's Iguodala in at the 3 spot. Pushing their lead to double digits. That's now 8 points for Eric Bledsoe.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Bledsoe against Wall. A rebound by Iguodala. Nets leading by 12. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Nets will retain possession. Bledsoe for 3. That's good. Bledsoe's got 8 here in the quarter.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
The defense is just not closing out quick enough.
Wall up top. It's Hill on the wing. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Hill's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Brooklyn ahead. They lead by 12. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And welcome back to the NBA playoffs as we get ready to continue with this round 1 matchup. And Chicago has possession, down by 12.
And guys, just really impressed. They made big plays when it counted, and that's why it's going to be on to the next round for the Nets.
The sheer volume of three-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they sink one, Kevin, and then they do it again. It worked.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Eric Bledsoe. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
They've got Martin. Gortat is out there with Ibaka. Then it's George Hill, and it's Wall in at the point guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Some changes for Brooklyn. James Ennis, he'll check in for Gay. Heinrich comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Dragic in for Eric Bledsoe. Here's Simmons. Out left to the wing. Here's Ibaka. Gets the 14-footer to fall.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Now here's Dragic. The dish to Ennis. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And the Nets, another 3.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
Ibaka with the screen on Heinrich. Screen by Ibaka. It's back to Hill. It's good.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
And they do it. They'll move on to round 2. What a performance through the entire first round. Greg sweeping in 4 games.
And they really had a tremendous series. Watching how well these guys played as a unit has got to be scary for their round 2 matchup.
Well, that'll do it for now. Glad you could join us during this first round of the Eastern Conference Playoffs. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew. Thanking you for tuning in. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Eric Bledsoe.
Well, it's a great feeling when you're the guy that helps your team close out a series with that kind of game. You know, the way he had it go, he's got to be feeling very confident going into the conference semis. He left it all on the court tonight. He didn't look too fatigued, though. I'm sure he still has plenty left in the tank, buddy.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
And that'll do it for our coverage of this entertaining Round 1 series. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We look forward to seeing you for Round 2 right around the corner.